Here is another budget dynamic microphone that is the last piece before I do another big budget broadcast dynamic microphone battle that is really wordy for what I'm trying to make in the title of that video. But it's the first of many versus videos. And then finally, once I go through all the comparisons, it will be a big battle sometime in the future. Welcome back to the Rebel Tech channel. I'm Justin, and in this video, we're talking about the Elgato Wave DX dynamic microphone, XLR microphone by Elgato, a microphone that I've been wanting to cover for a while. I bought it at Christmas, at the end of the year last year of 2022, and I just haven't had the time, honestly. But finally, gonna talk about it. So overall, with the build, I like it. It's a nice design, simple, like I said. But I feel like it's a little lacking because it just feels borderline cheap, which it is. I mean, it's $100, so consider that. But that's just my opinion. I grade on a curve, and if I feel like the price and the build aren't equivalent, I kind of give it a little bit of a hard time. But I feel like the price and the build are based around the same criteria. So now I'll leave up the tech and specs of this microphone. There's not much that goes into it. I'll leave the major ones up. If you have any questions about those tech and specs, just leave it down in the comments and just say, hey, if you have any questions about the sensitivity or whatever it is, let me know, and then let me know down in the comments. Tongue twister. It's getting hot. And we'll talk about it. I don't do techie talk anymore because I'm rambling about tech that no one really cares about. And if you have anything that you want to talk about, just let me know down in the comments. So we're going to do a distance, off-axis, and all that stuff. So keep that cardioid polar pattern in mind when you're listening. We're in my studio here, mildly treated, some moving blankets and sound blankets above me. So what I'm going to do is go around and give you a little bit of a taste of how it is in rejecting noise. I've been about like 2-3 inches away from the front of the microphone, so we're going to back up a bit. Now about 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet away from the front of the microphone. This is what it's going to sound like in the studio here. 90-degree test on, was it stage left? I get it wrong all the time because I'm bad at my job. No, I kid it. But my left and right is not very good. Stage is here, so left is this way. So yes, stage left. About like 2 feet away from the side of the microphone, this one's going to be with the off-axis rejection. Now on stage right, this is what's going to sound like in the off-axis rejection, about 1.5 feet or so away. And this is what's going to sound like in my mildly treated studio down here. Now about 1.5 feet or so away from the back of the microphone, 180 degrees with a cardioid polar pattern. This should be the most rejection you're going to get. You might get some reflection off the wall behind the camera, but let me know down in the comments what you think about all those tests. All right, so that's it in the studio now. I'm going to be back in the studio for the outro, but I'm going to do the booth and the untreated room, which is going to be my bedroom, and the booth is basically the walls that come down that I have here. It's not a perfect booth, but it is a more controlled environment, so keep that in mind when you're listening. This is just one example and a couple of examples of many that you could do with microphones. So if you're new here, this is just how I do things and what I have. So let me know what you think, and yeah, let's go to the booth. All right, so Wave DX in the booth right now. A lot of things going on. This booth is getting rearranged, and maybe even not going to have a booth section anymore because I'm redoing the studio in a way that the studio will be so acoustically pleasing that it's not going to make much of a difference. So I'll just do everything all in a nice environment that is wide and not convoluted like I have been. But regardless of all that, this is what's going to sound like in a more treated environment. So keep that in mind when you're listening to this specific section. It's going to be a short one because it's hot and I don't want to be sweating, and I'm doing all these tests today in a hot room, and I'm only putting on the fan when I'm not recording. So This is what it sounds like, and I'm just trying to figure out things to say and give you guys an example. And of course, if you're in a booth with this, maybe you would use it. I don't know. Let me know if you use this microphone in a booth or a more controlled environment, if you have a pretty cool studio or whatever that's acoustically pleasing. So let's tap it. It's okay. I mean, it's no resonant. There's no resonant frequency, resonant like vibrations. Like it deadens as soon as you hit it. But still, it's not like perfect. But for a $100 microphone, pretty good. Plosive test. Pretty good. One of the better ones. Now, close proximity going around. On stage right is what it's going to sound like. Stage left, that's what it's going to sound like. And in the back, this is what it's going to sound like. Not too bad. That's really comparing like it to like if you have like a hum going on. If I'm talking and it's not really picking it up too much, then like certain frequencies, certain things that are going on in your recording environment might not come up as much. That's why I talk, because it's a louder thing. All right, so just last bit of stuff in here. When I compared it to the other ones, and I've been listening, because I've been listening to all these tests. I've been doing it periodically because I just haven't had a lot of time, and I've been just kind of listen, take a break, then record, that kind of stuff. So I noticed that this has a little bit of low end, not like crazy. It's more neutral, but it definitely has that low end. Like if you get close to it and you get a little proximity effect there. I mean, this is not too bad. I mean, it doesn't. I mean, I also have a bit of a nasally voice naturally, so keep that in mind when you're listening to all this. Yeah. So next up, Untreated Room. All right, so Untreated Room. I may have mentioned, I can't remember which one it is. One of these videos, I mentioned that it was going to be air conditioned, but I had an idea, mostly because I was lazy. So behind me is the studio. This is the rest of the basement where I have basically a gym and just storage for stuff. What I'm going to do is this room it's not untreated. Well, it is untreated. Technically, it's untreated, but it's not as small as the studio here, and it also isn't treated, because I had the moving blankets and all the stuff in the air, and it's changing now. I got things happening. So this untreated room is about a lot bigger. This one is, let's say from me to the opposite side of the room is like 20 feet. And then on opposite sides this way, it's about 15, maybe 10 to 15 or so. And about a 7-ish foot ceiling. So same ceiling as the studio, just no moving blankets, no nothing like that. So keep that in mind when you're listening. I turned off the dehumidifier and all things going on. It could be something else, maybe TV upstairs, but there's nothing I could do about that. So this is the point of the untreated room. So now that I got that out of the way, that message is for all of the comparisons for the Wave DX. So I won't be making that announcement in any other ones. So you've been warned. All right, talking into this room, into this microphone in this room. You can't really hear it too much, especially with a dynamic microphone. But if it was like a reflective room, like you have a lot of parallel walls, parallel flat walls. Oh, actually, technically every wall is parallel if you got it. But flat walls that are parallel, you get a little echo there, and got a coarse carpet underneath me, so keep that in mind too. So let's do a little bit of a walk around distance-wise. All right, about 1.5 feet or so away from the, maybe 2 feet away from the Wave DX right now, untreated room. And this is what it's going to be like. I honestly, it's a little quiet, but I'll know in post. Maybe I'll change it back. I might be talking to myself. I think I might just do this first one. Or I might do both. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Alright, stage left. Untreated room. This is what it's going to sound like with the Wave DX about 2 feet away or so. And this is it right over here. Opposite side, about 2 feet away on stage right. This is what it's going to sound like in the untreated room. And yeah, let me know if you notice any differences between this and the other tests. Lastly, 180 degrees, about 2 feet away from the rear of the microphone. This is what it's going to sound like in the untreated room. All right, I'm going to listen to all this, and I'll give you my notes of all the post-processing listening. So, final thoughts, overall thoughts, going to fire them off. I like the sound in all the environments, pretty much solid all around. Could use a little bit of high end, maybe a little EQ on that high end. It gives a little more detail. I feel like it's a little more focused on the lower end, so that higher end, the high mids, maybe you might benefit from that. I'm gonna do a video EQing this, but in the future. Next up, tap test. That was really off-putting. Not really off-putting, but it was a little off-putting. It just seemed a little, it could be better. And that ties into the one-sided yoke mount. Granted, it's good for articulation, like I said, but having that extra bit of support could help the rejection of noise. And I know some people don't really care about that. They don't think, oh, I don't handle the microphone. Well, some people do. So consider other people's use of microphones before yourself. What else? Plosive rejection. Unless you're really giving it aggressive plosives and you're prone to doing it, microphone etiquette, something to work on, something I need to work on as well. If you're not a professional speaker, you really don't think about it. So I'm not a professional speaker. I really don't think about it, but I am aware of it. So microphone etiquette, all that stuff. So if you're aggressive with it, maybe consider getting a extra apparatus to help you along the way. And overall, I like this microphone. I really do. I think it's a solid option for anyone looking to do streaming, podcasting, anything that you're going to be up close and personal doing a broadcast style thing. So that's all I got for you. I highly recommend it because it goes well with the Wave XLR. It goes well with a lot of Elgato stuff. And just, I really like it. That all being said, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please hit the like button down below. It would be greatly appreciated. It helps this video, helps this channel. And if you like my vibe around here, please consider subscribing for more videos like this. I got a bunch of comparisons coming up to this microphone, so keep an eye out for that. It's going to be coming out weekly from now until I am comparing it to the SM7B. At that point, I think I'm going to take a break from it and do some other stuff. So keep an eye out for all that stuff. I've been a little bit slow with putting out videos lately because just life has been kind of crazy, doing a lot of stuff, getting my life in order and finding new jobs and things like that. So I really do appreciate everyone who stuck around through this time, and it really does mean a lot that people still are interested in my videos and interested in what's going on with me and just what's going on. I really do appreciate it. And like I said, comments down below, just be nice. That's all, the only rule. That's all I ask. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Next week, this versus the pod mic. So keep an eye out for that. And until next time, I'll see you rebels in the next video.